Hey everyone, I'm Armor Gaming, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to a little mini monster analysis on two of the newest monsters from the Maze event. We have WANGZHOU, and we also have Ching Ling. And we're going to start off, let's actually start off with Ching Ling. So Ching Ling is one of the newest and latest magic legendary monsters. Here's how this monster is going to look as an adult form. Anyhow, let's bring up the actual stats for this monster. So this monster has a life stat of 33,779, a power stat of 3388, and a speed stat of 3531, making him one of the faster magic monsters. Not necessarily the fastest, but he is on the faster end. Currently, the fastest magic monster is the War Master Charizard with a speed of 3575, and that's actually tied with Gretchen, who also has 3575. After those two monsters is Paniclaus and Cupid, which are some of the OG monsters that don't really do anything too special. Yeah, Cupid has a single stun, Paniclaus I don't think has any denial. And now we have Ching Ling as the next fastest monster with 3531, outpacing Zyron the Ruby and Zyron the Emerald. So super fast monster, but also not a denier. So let's see, according to the trait, this monster is going to have Harden and cooldown protection, which means this monster is going to make it so, like Charizard, you're not going to be able to get hit with cooldown activated skills, which is really useful considering Charizard himself can do cooldowns activated. Dungeon Master, a lot of players have a ranked up Dungeon Master, so you're going to be protected from that too. And so that's quite useful. And let's see the skills. So for skills, actually books, this monster is going to be an undead monster, underworld monster, evil legions monster, and for relics, it's going to be able to hold the mask relic and the trap relic. For skills, we have the tier 1 skills. Let's see. Deals moderate spells damage to one enemy, removes positive status effects from one enemy, blocks positive effects to one enemy. Isn't it awesome how all of these skills are doing so much, whether they're skills group 1 or 2 or 3? It's like every single skill nowadays has multiple effects. It's not just like may burn. Now it's like burn, quicksand, ignition, like everything. Let's see. Hand's Blessing removes positive effects from all enemies. No cooldown. And Jin's Denial applies block positive effects to all enemies. Okay, let's take a look at tier 2. Restores all cooldowns on one ally. Applies cooldown protection to one ally. Requires cooldown. So let's see the next one. Applies damage boost to one ally. Applies position to one ally. So far, pure support, and even if you read the one-liner, it says cooldown protecting magic support. Allows wisdom, removes positive effects from one ally, removes negative effects from one ally. Wait, what? Removes positive effects from one ally and removes negative effects from one ally. So restores or resets your monster. Applies protect positive effects to one ally and gives them double damage. Very cool. We've seen this with Neobuki. Neobuki has a trait where you can't remove positive effects. Well, now we're applying this as an effect itself. So that double damage isn't going to be able to be removed. And moving on to tier 3, we have Slung's Fury. Deals moderate spells damage to an enemy, applies precision to our allies, applies damage boost to our allies. So this is just a team buff that also attacks the enemy monster. Actually, I just realized this monster only has 2 skills that attack the enemy. We have the 30 damage skill and the 40 damage skill. Wow. Let's see. Next skill removes positive effects from all enemies, applies block positive effects. That's really useful. The enemy monsters aren't going to be able to get buffed. No life regen, no stamina regen. That's really awesome. I like that one. Yan's Power. And lastly, we have Ming's Protection, which restores all cooldowns on all allies and applies cooldown protection to all of your allies. Okay, so yeah, this monster, not much denial, no damage output, no DOT. It is pure cooldown protection pretty much on this monster. And this monster is the type of monster you put 3 team speed. They help your denier go first. And more so, this monster should be going last because that skill that resets the cooldown, restores all cooldowns on your allies, that is extremely useful because then your attacker can use his strongest attacks again, your denier can use his strongest deny skill again, maybe, yeah, it could even use the same deny skill again. Now you just got to be careful considering nowadays, if you freeze a monster, they're going to be immune to freeze. If you stun a monster, immune to stun, and even if you possess a monster, they'll be immune to possession. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Honestly, in my opinion, this monster, he's nothing too incredible from what I can see right now. Yeah, there's a ton of support, but nothing that you really need in my personal opinion. His ultimate attack is great, however. Ching Ling's Kingdom activates all cooldowns on all enemies, applies positive effects block to all enemies. It also removes negative effects and applies double boost to all of your allies. Very good ultimate, but that's really it. Like I said, his other skills, while some of them are pretty good, overall not too incredible in my personal opinion. But let's move on to WANGZHOU, because this monster, he's definitely something else. So first, let's start with his ultimate. Deals very heavy special damage to all enemies. Removes 100% of stamina from all enemies. Applies curse and stamina leak to all enemies. Curse will remove 10% of life and stamina, and then 20% of life and stamina, and then 40% of life and stamina. And then stamina leak will take away 15% of stamina each turn. So that first turn with stamina leak and curse, the enemy is losing 25% of their stamina. On the next turn, it's 45% of their stamina, and on the last turn, it's 55% of their stamina. So that's a crazy, deadly combination of stamina leak and curse. But now let's bring up all of the actual stats. So this monster has a life stat of 38,001, power stat 3465, and a speed stat of 3531. The same as the other monster, same as Ching Ling, except in the metal category, this is the fastest speed stat tied with Patient Cyber. So we now have another fastest metal monster. And this monster is a control monster. If you read the one-liner, it's a metal control monster which applies extreme pressure over opponent's stamina, and we saw that from the ultimate. As for his trait, he even has hardened and status caster to remove 50% stamina. When I first saw this in the monstergram, I thought it was going to be an AoE skill. Like at the start of the battle, all of the enemies lose 50% of the stamina. It's not that powerful, and thank goodness. Instead, it removes 50% of stamina from the enemy. Wait, maybe it is. For some reason, I read it earlier today, and I'm like, oh, it's from a single enemy monster. But now it looks like it is from all of the enemy team. So that's so powerful. Imagine you take your monster's regular 140 stamina at the start of the battle, they're down to 70. That really stops like even extra turn monsters, even if they have a stamina relic or stamina rune. It's a really powerful trait so far. And on top of that, he's hardened. Let's see, he's also going to be in the Undead, Underworld, and Evil Legions book. He's going to hold the Mask and Amulet relic. And now let's take a look at some of his skills. Moderate metal damage applies stamina leak. Deals moderate spells damage. 50% chance to apply drowned. 50% chance of applying nightmares. And I believe nightmares takes away stamina also. I don't think drown does, but I'm not too sure. I'd have to check on that. Let's see. Deals moderate metal damage. 50% chance of applying curse. Alright, going to skills group 2. Applies stamina leak to one enemy. Applies curse to one enemy. Applies nightmares. That is a ton of stamina drain in one skill. Granted, it's only to a single enemy monster. It does only have a one-turn cooldown, however. Wow. The next skill applies drown to all enemies. Applies stamina regen to all of your allies. Very useful. And then removes 100% of stamina from one enemy. Gives 50% of stamina to all of your allies. That is like... I believe like Frostbite has a skill like that. Although I don't know if Frostbite skill gives stamina to all of your allies. So that's really good. Tier 3 skills removes 100% of stamina from all enemies. Applies curse to all enemies. Ouch. So the enemy monsters all lose 100% of their stamina. And they get cursed. So they're going to have to recharge. And then when it's their turn, the following turn, the curse will double. So it'll drain 20% of their stamina. Which, what is that? They'll lose 28 stamina. That's quite powerful. And by then you'll do even more effects. So let's see. Deals moderate spells damage to all enemies. Applies nightmares to all enemies. Gives 50% of stamina to all of your allies. Oh my gosh, his tier 3 group is just so good. I'm pretty sure after you do the 100% stamina removal and applies curse, then you can follow up with the nightmares, and by the time it's their turn again, they might not have enough stamina, or they might barely have enough to do one more attack. But keep in mind, you can pair this up with like stamina relics and everything. That is just so good. Wow. And then the last skill, deals moderate spells damage to all enemies, applies stamina leak to all enemies, applies drown to all enemies. Okay, I'm pretty sure drown does something too. I know it takes away HP, but I feel like it stops. It was supposed to be like a voltage counter, right? So what does it do? I just, off the top of my head, I don't remember. But stamina leak, special damage to everyone, applies drowned. Oh my goodness. And so WANGZHOU is definitely the control monster to get. He's a master of stamina manipulation, primarily just stamina draining while also giving your team stamina. It's so straightforward with the monster. Give him 3 speed runes. He's the fastest metal monster, well, tied with Patient Cyber, but he focuses on that stamina drain, and he can pretty much keep the whole game going with the enemy having no stamina and also applying these torture effects. It's crazy, and your own team will never have to worry about stamina because you're always giving 50% stamina or stamina regen. I think I saw a skill that does stamina regen. But seriously, let's go over tier 3 again. Applies stamina leak and drowned. Applies nightmares, and your whole team gets 50% stamina. removes 100% stamina, and applies curse to the enemies. Man, doesn't this make you think how like obsolete old monsters are? Like, think of General Thetis. General Thetis, the original stamina drainer. She drains all of the enemy's stamina at the cost of losing all of her own stamina. That's like, when you compare that to WANGZHOU, who can remove 100% of stamina and apply curse, and you look at the cost, it only costs him 30 stamina to do this. WANGZHOU pays 30 stamina to drain 100% stamina from all the enemies and apply curse. General Thetis loses all of her stamina in order to be able to just drain stamina. It's insane. It's like night and day what these new monsters are offering compared to the old generation of monsters. It's crazy. Removes 100% stamina from an enemy, gives 50% of stamina to all of your allies. Just like that. So one enemy monster loses their stamina and your whole team gets 50%. It is insane. But anyways, that is pretty much going to be it for this like little mini monster analysis. I'll probably do an in-depth analysis when the monsters are actually out on Monster Wiki. Or maybe not, because if the information is the same, then it's the same. But yeah, now you guys know about these monsters. Now you know whether or not you want to get them. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about these monsters. And with that being said, I will see you all next time.